いってらっしゃい、エレン。
The masterwork of Hajime Isayama has finally come to an end. After 10 years of pioneering entertainment, Attack on Titan fans bid farewell to the cherished characters of Paradise Island and the world beyond the wall. Everything was perfect. It was a roller coaster of emotions. A story that starts with a boy losing his mother to how messed up the real world is, what is freedom, and who the real enemy is. Attack on Titan gave us all the answers because hate currently prevails over love. The show's concept is largely inspired by Isayama's own childhood. The iconic walls that encircle humanity in the story draw inspiration from Isayama's hometown of Oyama, Oita in Japan. The mountainous terrain of his upbringing sparked the concept of colossal walls, protecting survivors from Titan threats. Similarly, the protagonist Eren's core motivation reflects Isayama's own yearning to explore the unknown. Feeling a constraining frustration in his youth, Isayama desires to break free from his hometown, and the series serves as a creative outlet for these emotions. Now that it is finally over after so many final parts of the final episodes of the final season, the anime community will always remember it as one of the best shows ever. I truly believe that this is the greatest recognition one can receive for their efforts. This video will just go through the epic season finale, and I will break down all the small details to my best extent. This is just a little love letter to Attack on Titan for all those emotions and life lessons over the years. So let's take a quick look at what exactly happens in this episode. In the final episode of Attack on Titan, Those Who Remain, Eren Yeager's unwavering pursuit to eradicate humanity outside the walls of Paradise Island leads to a heart-wrenching showdown with his former comrades. As Eren's unstoppable rumbling lays waste to the world, Armin Arlerts desperately tries to intervene, entering the paths to reason with Ymir Fritz, the first Titan. Meanwhile, Mikasa Ackerman grapples with her conflicting emotions towards Eren, her love for him clashing with her obligation to protect humanity. In a climactic confrontation, Armin's plea touches Eren's heart, causing him to relinquish control of the founding Titan, bringing the rumbling to a halt. With the curse of the Titans broken, the world is free from these monstrous creatures, but the destruction of the rumbling leaves an indelible scar. Years later, Mikasa reflects on the sacrifices made and the lives lost, remembering Eren's unwavering determination and his tragic descent into darkness. As the final images fade, the tree that once stood as a symbol of hope remains, a silent witness to the events of Attack on Titan and the enduring power of human resilience. Now let's dive a bit deeper. In their quest to save the world, Armin is in charge of the scouts. To illustrate how far Armin has come, consider how he was once just a scared little boy who always needed Mikasa and Eren to defend him. Now he is the commander of the scouts that remain. Levi selected him to succeed Commander Erwin Smith, which in itself is a huge honor. It's always interesting to see how far these characters have come. Armin intended to use his transformation to blow up Eren's Titan form, but before he could, an Okapi-like Titan swallowed him whole, revealing that Eren had called many Titan shifters from the past to attack them. This included more familiar Titan shifters like Berthold, Galliard, and Ymir, and their combined power stopped Pieck from blowing up Eren's neck, effectively overwhelming the Alliance. Everyone appeared to be doomed, but they were saved at last by Annie and Gabby flying on Falco in his new Titan form. The action in this episode is top-notch like the rest of the show. Speaking of character development, it also is worth noting that Mikasa teaming up with Annie is an underrated moment. After all, Mikasa wanted her dead more than the Titans probably. We also see Jean and Raynor striving together to overcome the numerous Titans from previous generations. The sequences of Armin getting stuck in paths, unable to rescue his teammates, and concerned that they will all die fighting the generations of 9 Titans. It was heartbreaking to see Berthold crying in the paths because he was being controlled by the founder Ymir and was being pushed to attack his own comrades. I believe this is one of the most intense situations this season has shown so far. Eventually, it all leads to the most horrifying and terrifying scenario in the episode, in which Eren crushes everyone, including children and newborns. People are obligated to commit suicide in order to protect themselves and their children from the rumbling. Whole cities are being decimated in the following scenes. Armin meets Zeke Yeager, who now has been completely mentally drained because Zeke had other plans. But he had no idea that he was being manipulated by Eren. He thought Eren was also in support of not allowing Eldians to reproduce, but he was just using him to get what he wanted. Despite him being a cold-hearted murderer, Zeke had immense love for his brother, which eventually led to his downfall. As we progress in the episode, we also finally learn where the Titans originated from. Armin employed his most powerful talent, which was not simply morphing into a Titan, but his thoughts. How he inspired Zeke and Zeke inspired other Titan shifters to break free from Ymir's grip and fight for their friends rather than against them. Armin attempted to persuade Zeke to assist him in stopping Eren, but Zeke didn't see the point. Just like me, he had lost all meaning of life. Armin, on the other hand, made Zeke realize that life is all about the simple, unimportant things that bring people joy, which makes Zeke consider how happy he would have been if he just kept playing baseball with Saver. The spirits of the Titan shifters who died in the series manifested as a result of this revelation, and Armin and Zeke gave them the strength to reject Eren's power and fight back against him. Levi exacts his revenge and eventually killed Zeke, as promised to Erwin. This was something that every Attack on Titan fan had been looking forward to for a long time. Long time! Zeke allowed himself to be killed by Levi, causing Eren's Titans to halt the rumbling. Jean took advantage of the opportunity to blow the bomb around Eren's neck, forcing out the worm-like monster that first bonded with Ymir Fritz, and Armin attempted to destroy the worm-like thing, and Eren with the explosion from his transformation. With Eren and the worm-like thing dead, the threat of the rumbling appeared to be over. But yes, it was not over, as Armin stated. Eren truly loves hell, which just means that Eren is too stubborn to let go. Mikasa is too disturbed and does not want to kill Eren, but she's left with no alternative, so she gets another headache while this is all going on. The Alliance is shocked. Armin's blast didn't kill him. If the worm-like creature merges with Eren's body again, the rumbling could start back up. Armin battles against Eren one-on-one. The glowing parasite transforms the surrounding Eldians into Titans in order to help it reconnect with Eren. Only Mikasa, Levi, and the Titan shifters are left to fight. When will our torment end, says a broken Rainer that was once so energetic. With only a matter of seconds left to save the desolate fate of humanity, Mikasa must do the unthinkable. As Levi and Mikasa fly on Falco's back towards Eren, Levi begs her to put an end to everything. She has to be the one to kill Eren for good. No one else can do it but her. She tells herself that she wants to go home, and then the cabin scene occurs. One of the saddest scenes in the anime, in my opinion. Mikasa wakes up from a dream with tears in her eyes, and Eren asks why is she crying, taking us all back to the first episode where Eren wakes up from a very long dream crying. It was revealed to us that Eren is completely at ease and devoid of any kind of hatred. He appears to be truly happy, and all of this occurred because he was preparing to flee with Mikasa that evening, if only she had responded differently. After all, he was just a 19-year-old boy who wanted to live, but life got in the way. He asked Mikasa to forget about him and throw his scarf away. Mikasa has a strong relationship with Eren and senses that he is inside the mouth, so the team puts in one last effort to create a pathway for her. There were none prepared for this sight. It was heartbreaking to see that this is how Eren's narrative ends after everything he had to go through to gain his freedom. Mikasa breaks through Eren's Titan teeth. Right before Mikasa instantly chopping off Eren's head, they share one final glance. Ladies and gentlemen, Eren Yeager is dead. The conclusion is difficult to accept, but ultimately it comes down to perception. If you view Eren as the little child who had everything taken from him, his family, his freedom, and the ability to live without fear inside the walls, the conclusion may be more traumatic for you than satisfying. However, if you view Eren as a genocidal maniac who exterminated 80% of humanity, the conclusion may be more satisfying. However, we were all aware that Eren was never a monster, and that his mental state was distorted to the extent that he had to do things he never wanted to, like killing his own mother. Armin, remembering his last conversation with Eren, where he pours his heart out crying to him about his mother and how he wanted to be with Mikasa and with everyone else, clears out everyone's doubt about Eren being cold-hearted and emotionless, as he was just hiding it all because he knew the poor boy had no other option. Everything was too complicated. And Armin understood him, as in the manga, he thanked Eren for becoming a mass murderer for them, which was heart-wrenching to read. It makes sense that in the last chapter, Toward the Tree on that hill, the connections between Mikasa and Armin play a crucial role in revealing Eren's true motivations. Eren gave his friends a detailed explanation of his genuine intention in the Pat's dimension prior to his death. We get a vision of Eren and Armin meeting in the Pats, and we talk about why there is rumbling. Eren intended to transform his buddies into heroes in order to gain the admiration of the world and safeguard the Eldian race in Paradise Island. With the skills bestowed upon him by the Attack Titan, Eren was able to see into the future and realize that the rumbling had to begin in order to rid Ymir of her love for King Fritz. Like Ymir's devotion to her lord, Mikasa had unconditional feelings for Eren. Ymir adored King Fritz even though she knew he was using the Titan power to enslave her. Her unfulfilled love kept her confined to the throne, even though she had the ability to liberate herself. Eren took advantage of Mikasa's sympathies for his ambitious aspirations, and the two never acknowledged their feelings for one another. Eren shows his animosity for Mikasa earlier in Season 4, which we now realize was necessary to motivate her to kill him when the time came. Ymir understood Mikasa had to be the one to free her from never-ending agony and put an end to the Titan power, even if it was never completely explained. Eren then finally acknowledges to Armin that he loves Mikasa and that he does not want to die. Eren thought he was an idiot because he couldn't modify Ymir's predetermined fate for the globe. As he witnesses Eren's horror, Armin does what he does best. He is a loyal friend. Armin accepts responsibility for Eren's thirst for the outside world, and they share a final embrace, assuring that they will meet again in hell and share the burden of their transgressions. "We'll be together forever," Armin says. Back in the real world, Armin discovers Mikasa, who proceeds to bury Eren's head beneath the tree where they used to run. The rumbling has stopped and Eren Yeager is dead. All Eldians are freed from the power of the Titans and are now normal human beings. With 80% of humanity gone, the remaining humans are still weary of the Eldians. Armin pretends he killed Eren and manages to calm down everyone. The war has ended, at least that's how it seems, but there's still a lot to come for humanity. This isn't really a happy ending, it is actually just the beginning. Armin and the Alliance are spotted on a ship bound for Eldia and the Allied forces envoy for the peace conference between the warring groups. Everything is seen through the eyes of the tree on top of the hill. Mikasa returns to Eren's grave every year. International peace was never achieved. The cycle of bloodshed continues, war erupts once more, and Eldia is eventually bombed out of existence. A child and a dog managed to stumble onto the tree. Eren was buried under, which now resembles the tree where Ymir got the Titan power in the post-apocalyptic days. Attack on Titan isn't your typical anime. It's a series that delves into profound themes, challenging viewers to confront their own desires and insecurities. Unlike many shonen narratives that cater to escapist fantasies, Attack on Titan takes a different path, presenting a protagonist whose fragile ego leads him down a dark and destructive spiral. Eren Yeager's transformation from a determined hero into a villainous figure isn't just for fan service. On the contrary, his devolution is a deliberate and jarring narrative choice, serving as a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked ego and the dangers of succumbing to one's darkest impulses. This ending isn't meant to please or provide a satisfying conclusion. Instead, it's a wake-up call for those who have ever identified with Eren's struggles. It's a mirror reflecting our own flaws and vulnerabilities, forcing us to confront the potential monsters that lurk within us all. At some point in your life, you are also going through a villain era. If you haven't yet, then you will. It is indeed a canon event. So Eren's determination, unwavering self-belief, and resilience in the face of ridicule resonated with me. I also understood his self-loathing, his struggles with inadequacy, and his tendency to punish himself for perceived failures. Eren's journey from a hopeful young boy to a self-proclaimed destroyer of worlds is a stark reminder of the fine line between heroism and villainy. There are many real-life examples of such cases in human history. Those who were supposed to protect us brought us our doom. It's a cautionary tale about the destructive power of unchecked ego and the importance of confronting our inner demons before they consume us. I think there's only one way to summarize all this.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Attack on Titan isn't your regular anime. It is extremely thoughtful and philosophical at times. When a few years from now you sit down and rewatch this show, you will see how these little moments build up in an ultimate payoff at the end. So the next time you watch Attack on Titan, don't just be entertained by the action and the spectacle. Take a moment to reflect on Eren's journey, on his transformation from hero to villain, and on the lessons it holds for us all.
向こうにいる敵全部殺せば俺たち自由になれるのか